Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great day. I thought maybe this would make a cool intro shot. Who knows? Who really cares, right? So, today, as you can see, I'm in a bit of disarray because throwing all the pinstripes on and I just literally now had the truck arrive with my EQ3 I've been waiting for the longest. And they didn't put it in another box to ship it. They just put a shipping label on the drumhead box and shipped it like this. I was totally expecting to open this up to a broken ring. But it's not. It's in perfect condition by the grace of God. So, got the EQ3. EQ3 will be going on here very shortly. I've got to go to work right now, and I've got to finish these other drums too, but yeah, that'll be great. That's gonna be great. For those that aren't too familiar with these EQ3s, so the 1s and 3s are single ply, the 2s and 4s are double ply. Now you'll see this internal floating ring. That's to help dampen some of those overtones and ring that you'll get if you're just leaving your drum wide open. That's why I really like these heads, because they have kind of a natural EQing ability to them. You can get them in a flat, or you can get them in a coated. Here's the black version of the flat. So, they make them in lots of different designs: double ply, single ply, ported, non-ported. So basically any need you could possibly have: offset port, 5-inch port, different offsets like middle port, offset, different things like that. So it's going to be replacing this head, which I really do not like, because when you need to tune this drum, you're striking it right in this area where the holes are to get a sense of the pitch of each lug, right? So it doesn't have any down here in the top, top two or bottom two, but on all the others it does, and it makes it difficult because I know that that's kind of their, version of a port, but it has none of the benefits that a port does, except for some venting, because you can't easily get in and out of the bass drum. You can't stick pillows in and out of it easily, or microphones, or whatever the case may be that you want to use. So it makes tuning difficult. You can't use a drum dial. Well, I don't really use a drum dial on bass drums anyway. But if you wanted to use a drum dial, the needle hole would go literally right here, right? So the needle just pokes right through the hole of where you need to measure the tension at. Plus, when you strike it, it gives you this like wow, wow, wow. Even if you have it nice and in this, not just because it's out of tune, but because even with the hole punched through it right there, it gives you that kind of a sound. So it's harder to tune. It seems like it doesn't quite stay in tune, or it's a little ringier maybe, but it doesn't give you the benefits of a ported head. So that's kind of funny to me. But anyway, we're changing that out now that I literally just opened the door and that was sitting at the front door. And we've got the new edition. I snagged this last night. I sold one of mine to one of my newer students who bought the the Ludwig Breakbeats kit, which was why I got this to replace it, and got a proper bop kit this time, and a schlepping one too, because I've been asked to do some jam sessions and some gigs and some different house things, and going down to the VFW and this beer and wine garden and just different aspects. So that's going to be a great kit for that. The pedal, absolutely love it. For those that didn't know, I've played on these a bunch, but I've never owned one. So I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just a dumb drummer or something. But DW is constantly kind of redesigning their stuff too. But they have this accelerator and turbo, different models for their 5000s. And really what that is it either makes it concentric or eccentric. So you just take the key, and what you do with this is it's both in one. It's an infinite adjusting, so you can either have it concentric, like you can think of spokes on a like a spokes on a tire or on a wheel, like perfectly round. Think perfectly round versus an elliptical shape. So like a curved ellipse versus a drive like this. So what you can do is it basically just extends out that part. I'm trying to just do it with my hand quickly, so I'm not gonna, So you can see how this part moves internally, and just with this adjustment screw down here. And so you can literally turn this from an accelerator into a turbo or vice versa, just based upon if you want more of an ellipse or more of a standard round, concentric. They put the new toe grips on there. These are so great. They're angled too, and they're nice and rubber, so like they're not going to damage your hoops. They'll sit nice and flush on anything. And they have really good, strong plates to them that are nice and that aren't going to damage your hoop, but are going to keep this in place. Another thing that's cool is that they added this big non-slip to the bottom. It's not Velcro, and it seems to be more of a newer design. It's almost like the bottom of a shoe tread or something like that, but it makes it so that it stays nice and put. Super beefy plate. And then I just got the standard model. I didn't get a longboard, and I just got a single, not a double, because this is going to be used by me as a primary kit. And then I have my Speed Cobras, which are a set of doubles that I just took the slave pedal off of. And I've actually been playing with the Pearl Demonator beater on the Speed Cobra pedal. And just kind of whatever gives me the weight I like. And the action that I like. But every little thing on this pedal is customizable. Every single little thing. And you can always tell a nice good pedal just by, look at how long that motion is. So, just look at how smooth it is. So it's like you just barely, every little thing translates right into it. I might, try a different beater on it too, but because these are pretty heavy, it got a really strong pendulum feel to it. But in any case, I'm stoked because that's kind of, I played with 5,000s a lot. I had a set of double 7,000s that, in all honesty, I did not like. I did not like one bit, but I didn't know any better at that point in time. So I was like, oh, well, 7,000's higher than 5,000, so they must be better, right? That's like child thinking there, right? So here we go. I haven't, obviously you can see I haven't been able to get this done yet, just for sake of time, and I'm doing like 15 things at the same time instead of trying to get this all going at once. But I want to the heads have kind of lost some of their character. Quickly just do a comparison. And obviously that drum is not in tune. But now, Pinstripes. Tone is just so great. And I put a piece of moon gel up even on the 12-inch because there was a lot of ring going on. But let's see now. Wow, yeah, see, there is quite a bit of ring. And some of that can be fixed with tuning, obviously. And like I said, I literally just threw these heads on there. And I've been seating them and tuning them and da-da-da-da-da, so. Oh yeah, that's good. That's like the perfect amount of decay, sustain, and resonance for recording. So, sustain is not the same thing as resonance. Sir, for people that don't know. I used to, oh yeah, sustain and resonance, same thing. No, not the same thing. So that gives a quicker note. That's great for recording. And see, just even now, this has no moon gel on it, but listen to how the drum has still a little bit too much resonance for my liking for the recording aspect, but. And obviously, got to do a little bit better finding tuning job of stuff. The heads have probably been on these drums for a matter of like 30 to 45 minutes. And I'm just trying to get everything done as fast as possible while still doing a pretty good, thoughtful job. The best, as thoughtful as I could, I guess. But so I've got another pinstripe for the 16. Yeah, I got just a G1 coated 14, and another 300 mil. Just always like to have, coated G1s and 300 mils for backups for snares. And then, last but not least, I got a texture coated, and this time I went with the power dot. So it's basically Aquarian's version of a remote controlled sound, but a much better head in my opinion. I'm a big fan of the texture coated. They don't melt their heads or crinkle them together, like Remo does sometimes, where you'll hear all that cracking and crinkling as you're seating them. You don't hear any of that with these. The texture and the coating is not like a sprayed on thing. It's almost like a UV coating rather than just a sprayed on coating that will chip right off. So basically, texture coated regular, great all around head for so many different applications. If you get one with the power dot, then it's a little bit more focused, but still gives you great overtones if you just go a little bit out from the center. But more of that fatter snare sound when you hit the middle of it. And since this is a 5-inch depth, I wanted to make sure that I could get a pretty good deep snare sound out of it, still with having nice sensitivity with everything. So I don't use Aquarians a whole lot except for on snares and kicks. I use their super kicks. Well, I use EMADs way more than I use super kicks, but I'm just saying, out of all of Aquarian's stuff, that's generally what I use is their texture coated on snares and the super kicks on the bass drums. But this is just a regular texture coated. And for people that don't know, this is the exact same snare that Eric has. Mine just looks different. And I didn't want to say anything because I knew he was getting that drum and having a little bit of issues with some of just getting it to him in a timely fashion. And then it was such a trip to find out that ours were literally made consecutively. Or sequentially, I should say. Consecutively, sequentially. One right after the other. So his date is literally the next drum in line that was manufactured right after this one. And what are the chances? I didn't get mine through a Guitar Center. I got mine from a private dealer. It was this place called Drum Flip. From Bill himself, who gave it to Ed. And so that texture coated, great head. And I like my snares really cranked high. I know some people are probably like, geez, dude, turn that thing down. Yeah, but look how soft and sensitive it is. So that's what I really like about them, is that they're nice and sensitive. They're single ply, 10 mil, and the texture on it is completely different than like a normal G1 or Ambassador coating. It lasts and lasts and lasts, just like the UVs did. So, I mean, I've had this head on here for about a month now, and you guys see how often I play, or, and how much I'm practicing in different videos and that kind of stuff. And, I mean, this head is still in, like, immaculate condition and still sounds great to me. Cool. Cool. I'm stoked about these pinstripes. These sound great, man. For whatever reason, too, clears. I think I'm a big fan of coated heads. I've always liked coated heads. Generally, you will always see me playing with coated heads. But the Mapexes, you know, it came with these that I threw on the Gretsch because I wanted to put some clear heads on. I'd only ever played on this Gretsch with coated heads, so I wanted to see what it was like with clear heads on it, so that's why I went ahead and did that. They sound good. They need to be tuned, obviously, but they sound good like that too. So anyway, I played on a few other Mapexes that were coated, clears, different combos of heads, da-da-da-da-da. And for whatever reason, I have always thought that the Mapexes sound best with clear heads. So I've done quite a few A to B comparisons now. You know, regular ambassadors, clear G1s, clear G2s, G2s over G1s, ambassadors over emperors, or emperors over ambassadors. I have not done an Aquarian over an Aquarian comparison, but out of all of them that I've heard, I think that clear heads really work well with these walnut maple shells. And my original thinking was I was going to put these on the DW because it will give you kind of a naturally lower fundamental and a shorter decay. So I thought that would be good too, but you know, that's really more of a sound for rock and for recording too, like a shorter, like a poof, you know, just a quicker note, deeper, quicker note, better for recording and better for rock. Whereas the coated G2s, now we'll play on this of the same, and you'll hear an immediate difference. Obviously, you can see I don't even have a bass drum pedal on this because I've been waiting for this last head to come in before I really spent the time and effort doing all the fine tuning and dialing it all in, because like I said in a previous video, I really don't particularly like spending hours and hours trying to get a kit right where I like it, only to have an arrival of new heads come in the next day and have to redo all of it. So I've just been kind of having fun with it, using it when I needed to, tuning it up just really quick when I need to for lessons or whatever, and then waiting till I had all the heads. And now that I finally do, we're going to get this kit dialed into. So lots of work, because I was only expecting to have to do the Mapex today and tomorrow. But now since this is in, now I've got the snare to do, the bass drum to do, and I might just keep the snare like this for a while actually. But, you know, get all the fine tuning of this kit in. And I'm really stoked to have this, because now I can just have easy access to put Evan's EQ pillow inside and out of it. Any microphones, whatever, you know, in case I need to plug into a house system if it's not sounding loud enough in a certain context or something. So there we are, boys. Hope everyone's having a good day. Just some info. I was just surprised to know those things about this pedal, that it was both the accelerator and turbo model in one pedal. They give you extra drives with it, and so you can do a strap, a chain, and I believe they have the direct drive version too. But that's not what this is. So you've got to get, you know, the different machining parts and that kind of stuff for it. But the chain, the strap, extra parts, different drives, cam adjustment, infinite. So you eccentric or concentric, I mean, every part is adjustable. It's got dual rockers too for the spring, so it has rockers on the bottom and top of the spring. And like I already showed you the action, I mean, it's just so smooth, so smooth. I mean, look at that. That's really great. So anyway, okay, really long video. Didn't at all mean it to turn into that long of a video, but man, who am I talking to? Myself. I should know myself better than that, right? You mean to do a 3-minute video, it turns into a 20-minute one. Well, have a great day, everyone. There is some useful knowledge in there and some sound samples of what the Pinstripes sound like, you know, just with the immediate seating and a quick tune-up. So my last one to do is the 16, And then I'm going to get started on the DW and fine-tune that. And now that I have enough bass drum pedals for all the kits, we're ready to go. So that's great, because now I sold, that one of my pedals to a student with the Breakbeats kit, and then I was like, oh man, I did not think that through clearly enough, because I've got lessons coming up in 2 days, and now I don't have enough parts of everything. So I had to go snag a new snare basket, and I had to snag a used hi-hat stand, and I snagged, I figured, well, if I'm going to get a pedal, I might as well get one that's going to last and one that I will use myself. So then I can have the Speed Cobras set up as doubles on the Catalina. Or I guess you could play with double pedals on this Bob kit too. That could be kind of cool. But that way I could have a kit, that's got double pedals at all times on it. One that's, single. I don't know. Kind of just depends on the context, but I was gonna get a 5000, and they only had the other model in the one that I didn't want. So they only had a turbo in, or I forget what it was. They only had it was either the accelerator or turbo. I forget, and I was looking for the other one. That's more of the concentric design. I forget which one. I don't know, because they used the turbo and accelerator terms instead of concentric and eccentric, and it confuses me, so sorry about that. But we're gonna throw this pedal on, we're gonna get these kits tuned up nicely and get everything back in, and I think the pinstripes are gonna sound great on this. I didn't want to just use 2 heads out of the whole pinstripe pack on the DW and then only to not have enough heads left to fully do a full kit, and then have mismatched heads on it. So I think that's a good call. The G2s will sound better for overall for all inclusive purposes, really, rather than just like a specific darker tone with the shorter sustain, which is really good for recording and rock too, if you're wanting that deeper, darker tone. But man, they sound good to me. And that's, almost like just the perfect amount of sustain for me for recording. And obviously, you just throw one piece of moon gel on the floors. But, okay. I hope everyone has a great... This video turned out so long. I was trying to get everything done as quickly as possible, and now I'm realizing I've got to go work right now. So, love you guys. Have a great day, and I'm stoked. But yeah, everyone knows tuning is probably our least favorite part of drumming, huh? I don't know. Some people enjoy it more than others. I don't really hate it or anything, but it destroys my back. I just, bending over and listening and mallet and So that's why I devised that little method. Put stuff up on here. I'll put the drums up on here, and then you can spin the drum around while you work with it. Put a drum pad down here so you have a flatter surface. And then you can stand, and everything's up here, and you don't have to bend over the drum each time. I don't know if that just really kills other people's well, people probably don't have a bunch of hardware and screws and rods holding their spine together too, but at the same time, back problems are no fun. So that's one part I really hate it, is the lifting and the bending over part of it all. So I'll be happy when it's over. So happy drumming, everyone. Love you guys. Have a great day out there. And here's to everyone with their new gear. Brian Corey, he's got his Yamaha Stage Custom. He just got pinstripes. He's throwing on pinstripes. He got G2s too that Sweetwater was sending him because he received a couple one cracked head in the pack. And Eric just got his pork pie brass 13x7 snare. Pork Pie's brass patina is a cool snare. I love it. I've got one of the Bobs too. The black on brass 14x6.5. And that was my first brass drum I've ever had, and I just still adore this drum to death. Yeah, the butt plate stripped, and it's got some sympathetic resonance, and it's not quite where it used to be 5 years ago, but it's still a great shell and great drum. So have a great day out there, everyone. Love you so much, and take care of you know, those people around you that you love, and take care of yourselves, and keep that light shining.